So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the 2025 KDVA Reunion and Korea-U.S. Alliance and Veterans Conference. Thank you for being here. We have gathered here in beautiful San Diego for KDVA's annual reunion so that the 1.8 million Korean War veterans and 3.3 million Korea defense veterans, those who served in Korea or currently serving in Korea since the signing of the Armistice Agreement in 1953. Those are what we define as Korea defense veterans. And their families and supporters can gather to share camaraderie, understand better that their service and sacrifices matter to both America and Korea, and continue inspiring current and future generations to make their own contributions to this great Korea-U.S. alliance. Anybody remember or see this? This was during the Super Bowl in 2024. Several of the 28,500 Americans currently serving in the front lines in Korea. So let's give them a round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. So at KDVA, we are driven by imagination, and we often ask ourselves, why not? So about 5 years ago, then our KDVA chairman and president, General Retired Vince Brooks, former commander in Korea, thought, hey, why not a KDVA reunion each year? So he discussed this with the MPVA minister, the Minister of Patriots and Veterans Affairs. You're going to hear that acronym throughout the day. If he would like to be a part of it and even sponsor it. And so literally the rest is history because MPVA is sponsoring this entire event. So this is the group photo of the 2024 KDVA reunion in Washington, D.C. If you look to your left, oh, sorry, wrong one. This is General Brunson, Xavier Brunson. He's the current four-star commander in Korea. He attended our event just before he took command last year in December. This is Command Sergeant Major Diane White. If you don't have an opportunity, please say hello to her. If you need some motivation and energy, she will give it to you in spades. But she is part of our senior enlisted council, and we're very thankful that she and her husband are here. And then other folks here you may recognize, including General Brooks, General Chung. He'll speak here in a little bit. And this was then the Korean ambassador, Ambassador Cho. So in the odd years like this year, we go to one of our KDVA chapters. So in 2023, we did that in Georgia, visited the humongous and modern Kia plant, and had a wonderful reception at their National Infantry Museum, the best public small museum in the United States. So if you go to Georgia, please go and visit. They're one of our partners. All of the reunions are made possible by the Korea Ministry of Patriots and Veterans Affairs. We're very thankful for their sponsorship of this reunion, and we also thank our fundraising partner, KUSEF, the Korea-U.S. Alliance Foundation, KUSEF, and you'll hear that acronym throughout the day as well for helping to coordinate this event with MPVA. So I'm Colonel Retired Steve Lee. I'm the Senior Vice President, and I run the day-to-day operations here for KDVA, and I'm your MC for this. So before I introduce our opening speakers, I would like to just put some administrative information out there. The conference is being recorded, and it will be available on our YouTube channel and our digital library sometime next week. Refreshments are throughout the day behind you and in the foyer. So please enjoy, get up at any time you want to, but please come back if you do get up. And then please, again, silence your smartphones. If you would like to plug into Wi-Fi to get text messages and emails, it is the Hyatt meeting Wi-Fi channel, and the password is KDVA. We try to make things simple here. So yesterday we had a great icebreaker downstairs near the marina. So for those of you that came, so thank you for enjoying that. That was good, right? Good food, and we had some live music that was piped in, so it was fantastic. So thank you very much. And then today we had a crew go up to the Mount Soledad National Veterans Memorial in beautiful La Jolla, had a lovely wreath-laying ceremony, and now we are in the conference phase of that. After this, we will transform this conference room into the honors banquet, and that will close out our evening. Okay? So just for the conference and the honors banquet, we'll have opening remarks soon from General Abrams. He is our president and chairman, followed by a message from the Korea MPVA minister, introduction, and a special remarks from our chapter president here in California. Then we'll enjoy a wonderful lunch. It's fantastic. If it's anything like the Icebreaker, we're in for a huge treat. I know a lot of pressure, but this is a great hotel. And then we'll get into the heart of our conference with veterans and members' stories. We'll have a networking forum with a lot of our partner organizations. A lot of them are here in the San Diego area. Then take a break, and then we transition this stage into a panel discussion. And so we're looking forward to that. Closing. Then what we're going to do is we're going to ask everyone to just leave into the cocktail hour open bar while we transform this room into the honors banquet that closes the evening. Any questions about the agenda? Oh, by the way, everything is in your programs, okay? So if you have any questions, just please flip to the first page. It has all of the agenda items. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to have opening remarks from our current chairman and president of the Korea Defense Veterans Association. He is a former four-star commander in Korea, the United Nations Command, the Korea-U.S. Combined Forces Command, and U.S. Forces Korea. So his bio is in here like all of the speakers, so that's about as far of introduction as I'm going to go with General Abrams. Sir, for your opening remarks. Thank you.
Okay, good morning. Awesome. Welcome again to everyone to the 2025 KDVA reunion. It is great to see so many KDVA members and supporters of the USROK Alliance. I'm joined here today by my wife Connie and our vice chairman and his wife, Lieutenant General Mike and Megan Bills. And no, we're not from California, so we had to travel to get here. We're from outside Kansas City, Missouri, and the Bills are from sunny Florida. I am honored to serve as the chairman and president of KDVA and follow in the footsteps of Alliance luminaries like Generals retired Skip Sharp, Vince Brooks, Mike Scaparrotti. Now, we've got an august group, and so if I forget somebody, I'm going to mention them. First off, if you were there last night, we've got a couple of, no kidding, real-world, bona fide Korea War veterans present with us today, and there's not many of them left. So anytime you have an opportunity to spend time with them and talk to them, it's a real treat. So Mr. Roy Hibbert and Mr. Arthur Schloss are both from California. Join me in a round of applause for them. Other distinguished visitors we have in the room today, hold your applause until they've all been introduced. Down here in front, we've got General Retired Jung Sung-jo, former ROK Chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, first President of KUSAF, honorary KUSAF forever, I guess. We've got Lieutenant General Yoon Yu-chol, our KDVA Korea President. Major General retired Dave Lesperance, former 2ID commander. We've got Mr. Che Jin-tek, the KVA chairman. And we've got down here in front Mr. Jason Pak, who's a retired Army captain. But more importantly, he's also the senior director of business development land systems at Hanwha. And Hanwha is our biggest donor and supporter of the Korea-U.S. Alliance Foundation and KDVA. So a round of applause for all of them. Now, there is a long list of organizations with presence here at the reunion, so I'm going to read them all off, and then we'll give them a round of applause as well. So, of course, we have Hanwha, the Katusa Veterans Association, the Asian Culture and Media Alliance, Evolution of the Korean Empire PBS documentary, AUSA 6th Region, Honor Flight San Diego, the House of Korea, the Korea Freedom Federation, VFW Post 10110, AROCA, United States, the San Diego Military Advisory Council, 38th Parallel Incorporated, One Korea Network, the Ukraine Victory Foundation, and the Korean American Republican Group. Let's give all of them a round of applause as well. So we literally have attendees who came from all over the United States. I already told you where the Bills and the Abrams are from, but we've got them from all over, as well as attendees from Korea. So we're grateful for all of you, for however far you came, we're grateful for your attendance. Steve Lee mentioned that the KDVA is a 501c nonprofit organization. We are 100% reliant on the support of our partner organization, KUSAF, the Korea-U.S. Alliance Foundation, who is the fundraising arm for KDVA. And so we are grateful for the generous support of all the KUSAF donors, because truthfully, without their support, their financial support, we would not be able to do what we do as an organization. I want to give a shout out to Captain Hank Kim, U.S. Navy, who is our relatively new, they stood up in December, California chapter of KDVA. Thanks for what you're doing, Hank. I know you're going to continue to make a big difference here in San Diego. Events like these take an awful lot of planning and effort, and I want to recognize and thank KDVA. We have 2 full-time staff members. You met Colonel Retired Steve Lee, our EVP for operations, and then where's Erlene? Everybody turn around and look in the back, and Erlene's waving. She's our VP of Program and Leadership Support, along with Steve Lee's wife, Grace, is here in a volunteer status. They're actually the ones who do all the hard work to pull these things together. It's not easy, and they're all based out of D.C., so they had to do all this long-distance coordination with great support from Hank. So thanks to those guys, the full-time staff who pulled this thing off. Now let me talk a little bit about me and my relationship with Korea, because many of you who I've just met don't know the story. First, let me just say, I served for 39 years. It was, I can say without a doubt, I said it while I was there. I've said it in retirement multiple times. It was the honor of my lifetime to serve as the commander of United Nations Command, Combined Forces Command in U.S. Forces Korea. Connie and I were there from 2018 to 21, and had an opportunity to serve and support the U.S.-ROK Alliance. That alliance, as all of you know, and our Korea War veterans know this all too well, was forged in the crucible of ground combat and baptized in that fire and blood of that experience. Our alliance was founded upon core values, shared sacrifice, and demonstrated commitments to each other. That was 72 years ago when it started, and that continues to exist today, largely because of the post-1953 Korea service veterans, like many of you. Now, many of you probably don't know this, I had not served in Korea before we arrived there in 2018. So after almost 3 years of experiencing Korean culture, meeting and making new friends, seeing a beautiful country, learning the rich 5,000-year history of Korea and the Korean Peninsula, I can say honestly, my only regret after 39 years is I didn't serve in Korea sooner in my career. I was fortunate, very fortunate, to work with some incredibly talented and just outstanding Korean military leaders who sought only the best for their nation and for the alliance, both. I'm the 4th in my family, the 4th Abrams boy to serve in Korea. My family's relationship and commitment to Korea began with my father in 1953, who served as a Corps Chief of Staff prior to the armistice being signed and then for the following 9 months. and he helped oversee the implementation of the armistice. My oldest brother served as a lieutenant, a forward observer in the militarized near the DMZ in 1962, and my middle brother commanded the 2nd Infantry Division from 1993 to 1995. And as we like to remind people, who ever have any question about our commitment, the Abrams family, we're all in when it comes to the defense of Korea. I want to thank you, all of you, for your continued support of KDVA. Our mission is pretty simple. One is to enhance the U.S.-ROK alliance by advocating, publicly advocating for the alliance and supporting the people who built and continue to serve the alliance. And our motto, right here on your lanyard, together for the ROK-U.S. alliance. As I said earlier, I assumed duties as the chairman and president on the 1st of June from General Scaparrotti. KDVA is 8 years young, relatively new organization. And we've continued to grow and build our membership and outreach. So for all of you, in 2025, just thus far, 10 months into the year, we've had several major achievements. I'm going to list them out for you. We've grown 17,000 new members, so now we're up to 52,000. 14,000 new social media followers, up to 120,000 now. We've established 3 new U.S. chapters. We have a total of 7. The 3 this year, Pennsylvania, New York City, in the tri-state area, and Texas. 2 new KDVA campus clubs, and we hope to have 2 to 4 more opening by December of this year. We have 6 new KDVA partners, up to 39. We've continued our museum translation project. We're currently on our 2nd and coordinating with the Marine Corps Museum for number 3. And we will soon establish our KDVA USFK chapter at Camp Humphreys, hopefully next month. And we are beginning a new Why Korea is an Assignment of Choice series. That's pretty impressive growth over just the last 10 months. The KDVA board and the previous chairman approved a new strategic plan last December, and it has KDVA postured towards becoming the premier voice for Korea defense veterans and the alliance. Now, when I assumed duties, I conducted a 45-day review of KDVA's posture, current posture, and the strategic plan and the potential for growth. And so I established some goals for us to achieve by our 10th year anniversary, which is in really 2 short years. So here they are. 1, double the membership from about 52,000 to surpass 100,000. Increase our U.S. chapters from 7 to 12. Triple our KDVA campus clubs from 4 to 12. Increase our KDVA partners from 39 to 50. Increase our virtual common interest groups from 28 to 40. And we still got a lot of work to do left to reach out and touch the remaining surviving Korea War veterans and those of the 3.3 million U.S. Korea defense veterans that we have not touched yet. And honestly, after just a short time being the chairman and president and seeing the growth potential for KDVA, all of those goals are within reach, without question. There is tremendous momentum building. So I ask each of you to continue to spread the word about KDVA through your own networks. I'll give you an example. So last night, there was if you met him, tall, long-haired, retired Marine colonel named Eric Doherty, and he served with General Bills and I in Korea. And since I've kept in touch with Colonel Doherty while he was still on active duty, he just retired last year, and he's in my network. And so I had a reason to reach out to him about a month ago to talk about something, and I said, hey, because he doesn't live very far from here. I said, hey, are you coming to the KDVA reunion? sir, what's KDVA? Right? So we had to have a little mentoring session about what is the Korea Defense Veterans Association. And with some gentle prodding, young Colonel retired Doherty showed up last night and, drove down from his home. He lives outside Camp Pendleton, where I guess all good Marines retire to. And it was great to see him. And I got him connected with Captain Hank Kim, and I hope that he'll continue to be able to support the Alliance and KDVA. But it takes that level of outreach to bring in more members. We are a grassroots movement, right? It's not a top-down driven. This is grassroots. So your networks really matter to help grow our voice and our presence. So, and we all have the same thing in common when you talk to someone who has served in Korea, right? There's variations on the theme, right? But it's the shared service, it's the shared sacrifice, but really it's a love for Korea, a love for the Korean people, and a belief in the importance of the U.S. Republic of Korea alliance. It's fundamental to who we are. And those who have not served in Korea, frankly, they just don't get it. You have to have lived it. You have to have experienced it to understand how important that alliance is. It's important, first and foremost, for the Korean people, but it's important to peace and stability on the peninsula, in Northeast Asia, in all of the Indo-Pacific. And it all starts on the pen with the Korea-US-ROK alliance. So that's a long way of me saying that your voice matters. Each and every one of you, your voice matters. And if your neighborhood and your neighbors are like where we are, Connie and I live in the country. We're 5 miles from the nearest town. That town has got about 8,000 people. There is zero military connection where I live. And when I meet new people, some of my neighbors, they'll get around to ask me, what did I do? I was a soldier. Where did you serve? Well, we sort of pull it out of me. And I say, well, my last assignment, I was in Korea for 3 years. Every single one of my neighbors says the same thing. We still have troops in Korea. So it gives me an opportunity to talk about the importance of Korea, to talk about the importance of the alliance, and why it matters, right? Why does it matter to a soybean farmer outside of Kearney, Missouri, right? That's our job. That's how we can give back to our service and honor our service in Korea, is to help spread the word and talk about the importance of it. And again, all of you have a role to play. You don't have to be a retired general. You can be, just as long as you have served in Korea, you are fully empowered to speak on behalf of Korea and the alliance. Now, for many of our KDVA activities, I just listed a whole bunch of things that we've got going on. We have hit a limit, unfortunately, with our current funding support from KUSAF. It's not the fault of KUSAF, but it's just a function of the fiscal environment that we operate in. So we will continue to strive towards our goals, as I listed earlier, and we'll work closely with our KUSAF partners to help raise additional funding support that's needed for us to continue to grow and expand. General Bills and I were in Korea last month at the invitation of the Korea-U.S. Alliance Foundation for a week, accompanied by a former 7th Air Force commander, Lieutenant General retired Tom Bergeson. One of our specific tasks while we were there was to engage with donors and potential donors of the Korea-U.S. Alliance Foundation. And I gave a very similar set of remarks. Hey, here's what we've accomplished just this year, and here's what our objectives are for the next couple of years. That resonated with those donors because they see the good work that KDVA is doing here in the United States to raise awareness of the importance of service in Korea and the alliance. So they all understand where we are and where we want to head to. Okay, in an attempt to get back on schedule, just let me close by saying how great it is to be here in San Diego and to be here at the KDVA reunion with you. I truly look forward to the rest of this afternoon and this evening's activities that we have planned, and I look forward to having an opportunity. If I haven't chatted with you already, I promise before the day is through, you and I will have a chance to chat, if you want to. Thanks very much. I'm leaving, Steve. There you go.
And he does mean it, so please, if you want to see him and talk to him, please do so before the end of the honors banquet. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'd just like to provide some information and recognize our main sponsor, MPVA. So the minister here is visiting the Daegu Veterans Hospital and local veterans' homes ahead of the traditional Chuseok holidays, the Korean Thanksgiving. He handed out gifts and checked on their health and living conditions and explained the new livelihood support program for spouses of veterans. And that'll start here next year. And he also held meetings to hear veterans' concerns and thank the medical staff. MPVA also held a ceremony at Hyeongsung Medical Center to recognize it as one of 30 excellent veterans hospitals selected nationwide. This program certifies hospitals that provide high-quality, veteran-focused care with strong patient satisfaction. They're looking to expand this program from 927 to 2,000 by 2030 so that veterans can have convenient, quality medical care close to home. And in this picture, oops, sorry, wrong button again. Right here is the Vice Minister, good friend of KDVA, Vice Minister Kang Yoon-jin. So they also held the Veterans Week Proclamation Ceremony and 2025 Veterans Employment and Entrepreneurship Fair under the theme of Respect Veterans, Another Start. So major corporations, including LG, Hyundai, Samsung, Hanwha, participated. And Minister Kwan said that, hey, supporting veterans and ensuring their successful second act is a shared national responsibility. So we appreciate him doing that. And then each year, like General Abrams mentioned, we have several members of our board who served as senior commanders in Korea at the invitation and sponsorship of KUSEF go back for 1 week of meetings. And this year they visited also with the minister, MPVA minister. Here, General Abrams is presenting the MPVA minister a 16-star saluted letter of appreciation signed by all 4 former commanders in Korea who also served as KDVA chairman. And then each year, MPVA sponsors about 50 to 100 Korea defense veterans on the VIP Korea Revisit program. So no other country in the world does this for foreigners. No other country does this. They've been doing this program for Korean War veterans for decades, but now KDVA manages this program for Korea defense veterans. And so we really appreciate that. And during the gala dinner hosted by KUSEF and KDVA, the minister appointed each participant, and we have a few in this room, and they're going to be speaking about their experiences as Korea Revisit ambassadors. Okay? So now, ladies and gentlemen, we'd like to present a message from MPVA Minister Kwan Oh-ul. Please.
반갑습니다. 대한민국 국가보훈부 장관 권오리입니다. 지난 9월 서울에 이어 이번에는 샌디에고에서 한미동맹 컨퍼런스가 개최된 것을 매우 뜻깊게 생각하며 진심으로 축하드립니다. 2차례에 걸쳐 한미동맹 컨퍼런스를 준비해 주신 로버트 에이브람스 주한미군 전후회 회장님과 이모용 한미동맹재단 회장님을 비롯한 관계자분들께 감사를 드립니다. 6.25 전쟁 당시 한미 참전용사들의 피로 맺어진 한미동맹의 역사는 정전협정 이후 지금까지 대한민국의 안전을 보장하고 있는 350만 주한미군 복무장병 여러분과 함께 계속되고 있습니다. 지난 70여 년간 대한민국을 지키는 데 공헌한 미국은 피를 나눈 혈맹이자 가장 강력한 동맹입니다. 한국전 참전용사와 주한미군 복무장병 여러분께 깊은 감사를 드립니다. 앞으로도 대한민국 정부는 참전용사와 복무장병 여러분을 기억하고 한국과 미국의 우정을 더욱 돈독히 할 수 있도록 최선을 다하겠습니다. 오늘 이 자리가 한미동맹의 미래를 함께 준비하는 계기가 되길 바라며 여러분 모두의 건강과 행복을 기원합니다. 감사합니다.
So, ladies and gentlemen, before we break for lunch, I'd like to introduce and welcome to the stage the KDVA California chapter president. He is an active duty Navy captain, Hank Kim. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
Good morning. It's my honor to be here. As Steve mentioned, currently active duty Navy captain, closing up on 30 years of service, but I'm so excited and honored to be here. I'm going to talk to you a little bit this morning, get you back on schedule, to talk about KDVA California chapter and why it matters to San Diego and why it matters to California. So a little bit of background. The defense of Korea requires the coordination of the different armed forces in all domains: air, land, space, and of course the sea. But at this moment, I'd like to focus on the importance of the sea domain. South Korea, as everybody is aware, is surrounded by an ocean, and to the north, it's blocked by North Korea. So this makes maritime shipping really the only viable option for international trade for South Korea. Anybody know what percentage of trade is conducted through the ocean for South Korea? 99.7%. So virtually all of South Korean trade is reliant upon the ocean. That's how important it is. Thus, maintaining a strong Navy-to-Navy relations between the United States and the Republic of Korea is critical to ensuring the defense of not only the country, but of the region. So where does San Diego fit into all of this? San Diego and the surrounding area hosts about 17% of the Navy's active duty personnel and is home to a significant portion of the United States Navy fleet. About 56 to 60 ships are here depending on the deployment schedule. Naval Base San Diego is the largest naval base on the West Coast and home to the Pacific Fleet. Other major bases here include Point Loma and Naval Base Ventura County. Where does California fit into this? California has approximately 213,000 military service members, including about 162,000 active and 51,000 Reserve and National Guard members. This makes California the state with the largest number of military personnel in the United States. Also, there are about 565,000 Koreans living in California, making it home to the largest Korean American population in the United States. Los Angeles County, my hometown and where I was born, has the largest concentration with about 230,000 Koreans, followed by Orange County with 100,000. The population represents a significant portion of the state's total population. In my day job, as I stated, I'm an active duty Navy captain. This year, I have the honor of working directly with the Korean Navy as we prepare for the world's largest maritime exercise called Rim of the Pacific, or RIMPAC. And let me tell you, the Korean Navy is a formidable force boasting some of the world's most modern warships. Back in '94, when I was a midshipman, I had the opportunity to visit the South Korean Navy and the Naval Academy. And during that time, the Korean Navy was a very professional force, but it was not modern. The ship I embarked on for my training in '94 was a Gearing-class destroyer. I don't know if many of you have heard of this type of ship, but it actually served in World War II. And we had transferred it over to the Korean Navy, and it was still in service in 1994. Well, I can tell you today, from firsthand experience, that the Korean Navy is one of the world's most modern navies, and they no longer have any World War II ships. Their ships are top of the line. KDX, the next batch coming out, will give them 6 destroyers that are equivalent in capability, capacity, and lethality as our most modern U.S. Navy destroyers, the Arleigh Burke class. And in fact, if you put 2 ships side by side together, you would be hard to tell the difference. As a career naval officer and warship driver, I'm reassured by the professionalism and strength of the South Korean Navy. As a Korean American, I'm amazed to see the growth and modernization of the Korean Navy. And as KDVA California chapter president, which just began 1 year ago, as the general stated, I'm excited to serve in this capacity, and I thank KDVA for the opportunity to help strengthen the alliance. I'm excited to strengthen the ironclad relationship between the armed forces of the 2 great nations and to the veterans who have served in the Korean theater of operations. As chapter president, it is my goal to conduct outreach to as many active duty veterans and service members as possible, to follow and listen to the guidance that we just heard from the general today and help expand our membership, and I will do that with all of my energy as possible. And I look forward to promoting the continuing opportunities that KDVA presents to its members, such as Revisit Korea, the internships, and the networking opportunities. Thank you, 필승, and 같이 갑시다.
Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, we are at lunchtime. We'll have plenty of time. This is going to be a great meal. So take a break as you need throughout the meal. If you prefer a vegan meal, just please let your waiters know, because we do have vegan meals prepared for you. And again, this is your opportunity to observe the rule of 5, right? Try to meet 5 people you did not know coming in here today. Okay, so just don't hang around with your buddy that you came with. Go and learn about somebody new, and your experiences will be doubled and tripled. And so thank you very much, and we'll be back here in just a little bit.